which units need to perform in the playoffs on offense and defense for the 49ers? Which ones need to perform at their best?
Okay. Well, I would say on offense, the offensive line.
Yeah.
We go as far as this offensive line
Yep.
goes. The trenches is where it all starts on both sides of the ball. And right now, we're on the mend. I think that we really saw a difference. And I thought that who would have thought that we would ever be saying this? But there was a clear difference without Aaron Banks in the offensive line.
Oh, no doubt. All of a sudden, they couldn't pick up a stunt. That twist got him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there wasn't a lot of gap scheme running either.
Good point. That's because he's their puller, right?
Yeah. So I think that there was I think I saw a tweet where somebody had mentioned with Aaron Banks being out and shifting over Danny Brunskill, we had to play Spencer at full time, Spencer full time at right guard,
which isn't something he always does.
And he struggled.
Yeah.
He did. And
he's probably the weakest.
Spencer.
He's probably the weakest offensive lineman on the team right now. He's a rookie.
Well, he is a rookie, and he was a tackle too.
Right.
So
right. He's got a bright future, but right now, he's probably the one. Yeah.
You know, they're kicking him inside. He's having a great year.
It's hard to hold your own as an offensive lineman as a rookie.
A rookie, man, and he's not even like a pedigree guy from like this great school. Played the position for years. He's
20. I think he's 21. I think he's like
he's a baby
dude
too.
On the team.
I give him so much leeway because he's got so much dog in him.
I mean, he's ahead of where Aaron Banks was at this point.
Right? Come on,
so
that's why
he gets credit. Yeah, he gets credit.
Yeah, right. But styles make fights, baby. And you want to be on a good team, then you're gonna be scrutinized like a good player. And he struggled. And I think that offensively, that's really the only way that you can't bump and run us because of what we do offensively. We shift more than any offense in the
right. So it's really hard to
you can't bump us. You can try to load the box, but the only way you load in the box is if the O-line ain't clicking. And if the O-line can hold play action, and I hate to be so simplistic about it, but you really can't beat us offensively. With Brock delivering the ball. Offensively, it is our offensive line. Because I wanted to say, if you think about it, we've had success sans big players in every unit on the offense. We're playing with our third string quarterback, right? We've had extended time without Mosley. Debo. On offense. Without Debo and George Kittle, and still managed. We actually did a little better without Debo, honestly.
Trent Williams missed a few games.
Elijah Mitchell's been in and out all year. Yep. I mean, we've never missed a beat, but when we miss people on that offensive line, there is a serious drop off.
One of the best things that the offensive line has going for them this year is that they were playing the same five or the same combination the whole time. They had continuity. So even if they weren't the greatest group, they were playing together. Now that's for the first time is getting changed.
Yeah, well, I look at offensive line. Offensive line is like making a bowl of chili. It's like making chili. There's no recipe. You tinker as you go along, right? You put a dash here, you put a dash there. It's a little too spicy. You put something in here. So offensive line isn't like most units where every set guy has a function. Sometimes a guy that doesn't make sense, but he makes sense collectively works. Yeah. Right. So my thing is that I really like what Coach Forrester did in finding a rhythm. At first, I didn't get it. I didn't understand why they were switching out Danny and Spencer at right guard, but it's worked, and that's been disrupted. And you can see the fallout from that. So I'm just looking for them to get back on track. That's why I feel offense. Our linebacking core.
Okay.
I feel the same way. We have first of all, our defense isn't built for our secondary to be strong anyway. So let's get that out the way.
Right.
Okay.
And this is just what they are. It's supposed to be a front seven dominant.
Exactly. Yeah. And you have to remember that when we don't do good on secondary. Okay. That's not what we do.
They're not going to all of a sudden step up and be elite. Like, that's just not, yeah.
We ain't that. All right.
No.
And what's emblematic of that is that we actually went out and paid for Travarius Ward to come over. Right?
Great signing.
Exactly.
Great signing.
You have been mentioning something lately that is really good that I think the Niners should pick up. I think we should start spending money on secondary.
I think it's smart.
Money anywhere else.
Dude, it's cheaper. It's cheaper than all the other premium positions. Go for it. Yeah. Go for it. Cheaper than wide receiver, D tackle, offensive tackle, DA. I mean, seriously. Go. Yes. I mean, Philly spends on it, and it works for them. Bradbury, Slay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that way, like, you're getting a good player. He's 25. He's in his prime.
He's a hired gun, but you know.
You've seen, like, the Niners signed Travarius Ward. They saw him play against A.J. Brown, DK. It's like, well, we saw him against Devontae Adams. We know exactly what it's going to look like. Yeah.
True.
Yep.
All right. So the reason why I picked the linebacking core out of all of them is, again, it's the same way I feel about the offense. We have done without players on every unit and managed to keep our level of requisite play, but the linebacking core.
Yeah.
When we lost DJ Greenlaw, there was a gigantic. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Right.
I keep calling him DJ Greenlaw. I get DJ Jones on the mind, but when we lost Dre, in my opinion, optically, there was a huge drop off.
What did you see there? That's interesting.
Okay, well, the way it knocks down is that Azeez takes Dre's spot, and then Oren Burks comes in for practically Aziz's position.
Yeah.
And what Dre does is, number one, football is a cultural, it's almost kind of like a cerebral sport where if you can show force at a certain area of the field, some coordinators won't even try it anymore. They'll just leave it alone. And one of the things about Dre Greenlaw that I absolutely love is that for check downs, curl to flat, hook to curl, he is a menace.
He is.
He's a load. I'm talking
he'll
about
hit you fast and he'll hit you hard and you'll be like, I don't want to do that anymore.
Zero progress. You're not going anywhere. No. I feel like also with him is that he's very good in pass coverage. He cleans up a lot on the run game. In my opinion, and I know people, the only reason why I wouldn't say this definitively is because Dre needs consistency. Fred has consistency, but I see them pretty much in tandem in my eyes as far as athletes are concerned. But what you do see is that Oren Burks isn't that good of a finisher. He's not that good of a tackler. And he doesn't do well with checking down. Azeez, he's got one speed. You know, Azeez is going to shoot out of a cannon and he's going to go. But I think with Azeez that there will be there needs to be a little bit more maturation in this game, toning down and actually being able to read things a little bit more. I think that without Dre, our linebacking core really takes a step down because of how good they are. Our secondary is what they are, but our linebacking core is what rewards our defense, right? Our defensive line. They reward our defense.
And the Niners had Dre Greenlaw at full strength the first two times they've played Seattle. If he's compromised or not out there, that changes things.
I mean, that turnover by Dre Greenlaw kind of like broke the game open.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? That
a really hard hit.
Yeah, I mean, he's a bell cow.
How many times has he like almost single-handedly beaten Seattle? Twice? Not single-handedly, but he's like made the crucial play in Seattle.
19. That was for the NFC. That was for an NFC West championship. And then there was this game.
Yep.
For that, and then wasn't there a pick that he got when he was a rookie?
Absolutely. That was at Levi's. That was 19. That was 19 also, and it was like over his shoulder. It was in overtime.
Yeah,
it was
I remember that.
Hell of a player.
He's
man. We haven't thought about that. Like, why did the Niners defense fall apart against the Raiders? Well, Dre Greenlaw got hurt.
Yeah, it changed everything because
all of a sudden Stidham was like just rolling out and just hitting like tight ends in the flat for 20 yards. Like what?
Deep intermediate passes. All of that. That's Dre. Dre is a buzzsaw. I'm telling you guys. Like, and I mean, I'm not saying that we don't value him because I know we do, but I think that Dre going down doesn't really make people's hearts skip a beat the way it should.
Yep.
Dre Greenlaw is a serious piece of this defense.
Yeah, go back and watch the Niners defense without him against the Raiders. Now, I know last week was a great performance. It was against the worst team in the league, starting David Blau. So I don't even think about that game. I'm still thinking about the Raiders and how the Niners can make sure that never, ever, ever, ever happens again.